Hello, welcome back. I'm Wire Wizard. So, we're finally here. I don't think you guys realize just how long I've been waiting for this. The last time I seriously played Scrap Mechanic Survival, my wife was pregnant with our first child. Today, that kid is almost 6 years old. That's how long we've all been waiting for this update. And honestly, I never thought this day would come. I actually tried opening my original survival save, and apparently it's no longer compatible after the update. At least I still have my costumes from the previous progress. Well, I guess the game has made the decision for me. It's time to start over. Alright, we are finally here. I can't believe this. We are finally playing Scrap Mechanic Chapter 2. Let's see what's in the crashed ship. Okay, fire everywhere. Looks like we need to put this out using the water bucket. As I remember, the bucket is over here by the pond. Oh wait, what is this? Build my first car. We don't actually need this, but sure, we'll give it a go. The game feels more vibrant now. They probably tweaked around the color hues. The crosshair also moves around when you hit with the hammer. This is the pond. The supplies are right by the end. My first loot crate, and I get some glow sticks which I never use. Good thing there is some scrap metal. This will come in handy. I know there is more buckets here and some things I can dismantle. A free crop? If I'm staying long, might as well wait for this to grow. Let's grab these supplies. Farming is a core gameplay in Scrap Mechanic. There's that other bucket. If you are new to this game, take all of this soil. Actually, it's best to just take everything you can carry and just load them up on your first car. Even the shack and this push thing can be dismantled. This scrap wheel will definitely be needed on our first car. Wow, we can unlock parts now using a schematic bot. That's definitely a new feature. Back in Chapter 1, there were only things that can be looted and not crafted. This really opens up more creativity when we start building our base. Now that's done. Let's put out the fire in the ship. On the second thought, we might not go back here. Probably best to get this soil now. Wait a sec, let me fix my inventory. Looks like they made a quick sort feature. The devs are really cooking with this update. A quick way to grab water is just to arrange all your buckets in your hotbar, take a dip in the water and just use the mouse scroll. This automatically fills them up. If I had 10 of the buckets there, they would have all been filled. This technique will be useful when you start your farm. I pressed X to go on third person. This is my favorite costume, by the way. You know what? Let's do things quicker. Let's try to get the big battery for the crashed ship to save time. We just have to follow this crash marks straight to that broken building. I heard something. It sounded like a Haybot. The Haybots are the orange enemies that give out scrap metal and component kits. The component kits are used to upgrade our machines in the future. What the hell is that? It made like a deep, ominous sound. That's definitely new. Wait, let me prepare my water bucket. I want to try something. Back in Chapter 1, throwing water on bots paralyzes them. Oh yeah, I think it only works on Haybots and not on these tote bots. The big battery is just up in this building. We just have to clear the place. Wait a sec, let me fix my inventory. Damn, this sort feature is so convenient. This looks like the way up. What the hell? Did that tote bot just jump? They don't do that back in Chapter 1. You know what? This third-person view is kinda messing with my aim. I think it's best to use first person in combat. Basically pressing X zooms out to third person and pressing C zooms in to first person. You guys might check what works best for you. I'd prefer the first person from now on. If you guys noticed, I made a jump attack. One of the downsides of attacking is it slows down your character. But if you perform a jump attack, this speed penalty is mitigated by the momentum while you jump. This will come in useful when you are fighting multiple enemies. Those are Haybot spines. You can refine them by holding E to get scrap metal. Looks like they lowered the refining time and increased the amount of scrap metal on each spine. You know what? I think I'm keeping that tote bot head. I usually throw them away because they clutter my UI when I'm wiring at the mechanic station. This is the big battery, but let's explore the upper levels first, for more loot before we go back to the ship. This slanted beam is the way up. It's important to loot everything because you'll never know what you can find. Sometimes they give you engines and suspension in loot crates. Whoa, this is new. Back in Chapter 1, there were no lootable objects in buildings. It was all just green crates. Another Haybot spine. Looks like they're giving players ample materials to really start making that first car. This must be the last level. If you see that sparking thing, that's a tote bot. They usually die after just 2 hammer hits and drop green circuit boards. Nice, some more scrap metal and soil. Wait a sec, I think I can't carry all of these. Might as well just take what I can and go back here once I have more inventory space. Let's head back to the ship and make our first vehicle. Let's see if we can jump over here. Nah, that's too high. I noticed that we don't have a hunger and thirst meter anymore. They must have removed passive health regen to compensate for removing that feature. Did you guys notice that there was like a tilting animation when I jumped at a certain height? We might have to test how high we can fall before we receive damage. So guys, I'm planning to document our progression. Let me know if the pace of the video is too slow. Maybe we can make it a little faster on the succeeding videos. Wait, I think I heard some Haybots over here. They make that gurgling burp sound. There he is. Time to show you the jump attacks I was talking about. I am a little bit rusty though. There's another one. Perfect. I messed up on that one. But basically, you can also attack after they just attacked. You don't have to do this jump attack if it's just one. But for multiple Haybots, this is mandatory. Let me refine this first, and let's see what we can throw away for these component kits. Let's see what we can throw away. Definitely that tote bot head. Let's head back to the ship and clear that fire. We can place the big battery over here to power up the ship. Let's loot this place and make our first car. Damn, looks like our inventory is full. Let's head outside to lay down some of our loot. Now, let's try to make our first car. But we need to craft a connect tool first. Using this connect tool, we can power the ship and it will give us a waypoint to the mechanic station. We can set its waypoint by pressing L, and this shows us the general direction in the compass. We can use this as a starting container to free up some of our inventory. Now, let's start making our first car. We need scrap wood for the frame. This is a pretty good tutorial. I remember back in Chapter 1, you had to build your own, even without a blueprint. We need to raise the lift to access the underside of the car. I rebound mine to GMB for easier access. Yours will be the up and down keys. Now, let's put the bearings in front of the car for steering. Any blocks you place on this bearing will now move on the plane of the bearing. We only need to put steering bearings in front for this build. But if you have a build that you want to make tight turns, let's say a mining vehicle, placing the steering mechanism at the back can be useful. I gathered some more scrap wood, just in case we need them for crafting our wheels and the other parts of the car. Now, we attach all 4 wheel bearings. I got 2 scrap wheels. I'll just craft 2 more. After this, I need a scrap seat and a scrap engine. You can press Q to rotate the orientation of the part you want to place. Although it's not a part of the blueprint, I think this portable Craftbot will come in handy. We can place it at the back. We wired the seat to the engine to control the throttle. we wired the seat to the 2 steering bearings, and don't forget to rotate these bearings to properly orient right and left steering. I usually prefer the front-wheel drive, but this blueprint is asking us to place the power at the rear. In the future, once we have a better engine, we can power all wheels. Now that the car is done, let's make some few personal upgrades. We extend the rear to make room for our Craftbot and our loot. Adding more weight at the back makes the car more stable when driving because we'll use a rear-wheel drive. Having a Craftbot at the back gives us access to crafting this scrap chest whenever we have the materials. While this scrap chest is crafting, we organize our inventory to make space for more loot. I'm placing all these low stacking items in the chest because they are the ones that consume a lot of space. Now, we just fill this engine with some gas and we can head towards the mechanic station. It drives perfectly. I was expecting something worse because the old scrap wheels are so janky back in Chapter 1. I would prioritize upgrading the wheels when we get some materials. There are honeycombs by some rock formations once we move a little forward. These honeycombs is the necessary material to make new and better wheels. I almost forgot we left some few items up top. Let me get them real quick. Here's a pro tip. You can use your lift to access hard-to-reach areas. You can be creative in placing your lift so you can reach higher areas. These areas usually have lootable crates. Just be sure not to hit your head on the way up, like me. Here's another pro tip. If you're someone who frequently loses things, like their car keys, you might forget where you placed your car. If you bring out your wire tool, you can quickly spot your car by just following the silhouette of the wires. Before we go to the mechanic station, let's clear some buildings and grab some honeycombs on the way. Not gonna lie, I mean the first survival car is decent, but going through rough terrain can tip us over quite quickly. Not to worry, we can use the lift to tip us right over again. Those things are new. Looks like some tote bots carrying some potato seeds. I mean, I don't know why, but back in Chapter 1, planting yielded 2 seeds per crop. The devs adding this might mean that our farm might need constant foraging of seeds from these bots. Well, let's see. Let's loot this building first, then let's head for the mechanic station. Looks like the only way to get our health up is by eating or drinking. So the devs did opt to remove the hunger mechanics. This might be good, because back in Chapter 1, acquiring food in the early game was quite hard at the beginning, and you would rely on luck to get it in loot crates. In my opinion, it's pretty balanced, because they did remove the passive health regeneration. Let me make some quick work of these haybots. Sometimes you gotta be resourceful on how to access higher levels. Will you look at that? Our first epic crate. Let's see what do we get. Nice, we got an epic garment box. We can open this up once we get the garment bot. This unlocks some new costumes for our avatar. Looks like there is nothing left. Let's get back to the car and depot these loot. Let's bring out the wire tool, cause we forgot where we left our car. I'm crafting out a few more scrap chests so we have more space for our loot. They also added a feature of Quick Store. By pressing the plus icon, this automatically stores items inside chests if the same item is present in the chest. Now that we have more space, I'm going to grab those other stuff I left back in the building. Another tote bot carrying seeds. I don't know what you were called, but from now on, you are now the Seedbot. Damn, I got juked because of the bush, and those Seedbots do run fast. What the hell? That tote bot just got yeeted so far. I think I probably hit it while it was doing that lunge attack. We found our first honeycomb. We can use the lift to reach for the beeswax. In the future, this will be much easier once we get the spud gun. There's a haybot. At this early in the game, it's best to kill every haybot you can find because they are one of the most reliable way to get component kits. The only problem is, if it hits your car, you can lose your stuff. So we gotta be careful and lead it away from our car. If you see some of these tall rock formations, they usually have some honeycombs lying around. At this early in the game, we needed to upgrade our wheels. Huh, it says, we do all the work while you collect all the profit. No wonder these bots gone rogue. In some hard-to-reach places, you need to do a jump lift technique to reach even more higher areas. Let's loot this last building before we go to the mechanic station. Damn, we're out of inventory space. I guess we need to craft more scrap chest. Wow, we are so lucky. We found a better wheel this early in the game. I know there is also one at the mechanic station. Seems like we only need to craft 2 wheels now. You know what? Let's add more chests and upgrade our vehicle. With just 1 wheel upgrade, this car definitely runs smoother. We left some more items up top. Let me just get them. Now listen up. There is a guaranteed loot crate above these metal things. You can reach this with just the lift, but you need to place them in very specific areas. Now watch closely where I place them. Now, let's head towards the mechanic station. Over here is a guaranteed better wheel. Be sure to loot them. We are finally at the mechanic station. Wait, what's that ringing sound? Well, before we check it, I'm getting the big battery by these cabin silos over here. There is also a bed we should sleep on to set as our spawn point just in case we die. The big battery is inside this middle silo. What the hell? It won't let me in? Okay, now let's get the battery. Here's the battery. Once we plug this in, we can make an advanced Craftbot, but first, let's answer that phone. It seems like the line was static. For now, let's make that advanced Craftbot. Now let's see what we need for that better wheel. think we have enough materials to craft this. We just need to convert our blocks to their more advanced variant. Oh, the phone is ringing.
Hello? Wonk? Thank my stars someone picks up. You know how long I've been trying to reach anybody? Weeks. Listen, something's very wrong with the farm bots. Damn thing's gone on a rampage. Happened just a while ago. I know this wasn't in the guarantee, but I got every farmer on the planet cowering for their lives. Now, I don't want to scare you, but it's been getting real hairy. And frankly, we can't keep going like this. I've been a wonk man all my life, and I've seen some things, but I'm about to lose it. We're plumb near out of food, and down to sucking on sunshakes. And let me tell you, those get real old after a while. So please, please send somebody. Anybody. Preferably people with lots of guns. Besides, I bet the company's gonna want all their property back, right? Way things are now, we just can't give it back to you. But you can come get it, soon as you get us out. We promise we won't make a fuss. All right, Mr. Wonk, whoever you are. Sending you the coordinates, all right? Please, hurry!
I gotta say, having a storyline with voice is a breath of fresh air after playing Chapter 1 for so long. Anyways, let's craft that better wheel. Okay guys, we are ending the video here. On our next episode, we will make this mechanic station feel more like home. I would probably unload all our loot to create more space. Anyways, thanks for watching. By the way, I'm Wire Wizard, and I'll see you on the next video.